You could die from touching it. That's the kind of fear fentanyl brings. Just a grain or two of this synthetic drug can kill an adult, not a handful, not a dose, a dust speck. And yet, fentanyl is legally prescribed in hospitals. It's even used during surgeries. So, what exactly is this drug that walks the line between medicine and deadly poison? Let's break it down. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid. That means it's man-made, not extracted from the opium poppy like morphine or heroin. It was first developed in 1960 by a Belgian chemist named Paul Janssen. Back then, the goal was good. Create a fast-acting painkiller for surgeries that worked better than morphine. And in that sense, he succeeded. Fentanyl is 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. Yes, you heard that right. 100 times. Hospitals love fentanyl because it works quickly and wears off quickly. It's like a light switch for pain. Doctors can carefully measure it in micrograms, millionths of a gram, to numb pain during major procedures or help terminal cancer patients die with dignity. But here's where things get dark. Because of its power and low cost, fentanyl quickly moved from the operating room to the black market. And drug dealers, especially in the past decade, started mixing it with heroin, cocaine, and even fake prescription pills, without telling the users. The results? Catastrophic. In 2022 alone, over 70,000 people in the U.S. died from fentanyl overdoses. That's more than car crashes, more than gun deaths, more than almost anything else. So, what does fentanyl actually do inside your body? Here's the science. Plain and simple. Your body has natural opioid receptors. These are little locks scattered throughout your brain and nervous system. When you feel pain, your brain releases natural chemicals, endorphins, to dull it by attaching to those receptors. Fentanyl, like other opioids, is a key that fits those same locks. But it's a master key. When it hits the receptors, it doesn't just dull pain, it floods your brain with pleasure signals. It slows down your breathing, slows your heart, makes you feel warm, euphoric, and calm. Too calm. Because here's the thing. The same receptors that dull pain also control your breathing. If fentanyl overloads those receptors, your brain just forgets to tell your lungs to breathe. You pass out. Then you stop breathing, sometimes in minutes, sometimes without warning. And that's what makes it so dangerous. A user might take what they think is a normal pill, something they've taken before. But this time, it's laced with fentanyl, a tiny bit too much, and their body shuts down. No violence, no screaming, just silence. What's even more terrifying? Your body doesn't build a tolerance to the lethality of fentanyl. You might think a regular user can handle more. But the difference between high and dead is razor thin. Now, some people ask, can you really die just from touching it? The answer? Not exactly. You're not going to drop dead from brushing fentanyl powder with your hand. That myth spread because of law enforcement panic, officers collapsing after suspecting they were exposed. But science has shown that casual skin contact is extremely unlikely to cause an overdose. The real danger is inhalation or accidental ingestion. Still, the fear isn't totally unfounded, because when something is that potent, even tiny exposure mistakes can be deadly. So what's being done about it? Governments are cracking down. Naloxone, better known by its brand name Narcan, is a life-saving drug that reverses opioid overdoses. It works by kicking fentanyl off those brain receptors before it can shut down the body, and it's now available without a prescription in many places. First responders, schools, even libraries are carrying it because the truth is, you never know who might need it. But here's the deeper issue, and the part we don't talk about enough. Fentanyl didn't cause the opioid crisis. It's just the latest chapter. The real problem began decades ago when pharmaceutical companies aggressively marketed prescription opioids like OxyContin as non-addictive. Doctors overprescribed, patients got hooked, and when the pills dried up, many turned to heroin. Then came fentanyl, cheaper, stronger, easier to ship, and the crisis exploded. So yes, Fentanyl is terrifying, but it's also a symptom of pain, of addiction, of a healthcare system that failed millions, and it forces us to ask tough questions. Why do so many people turn to opioids in the first place? Why are so many lives so hard, so broken, that numbing out feels better than living? Here's the thing no drug warning label tells you. Fentanyl is both a monster and a mirror. It shows us what happens when pain goes untreated, when trauma is ignored, when people fall through the cracks. It's not just a chemical, it's a cry for help. So the next time you hear the word fentanyl, don't just think of death and headlines. Think of how we got here and what we need to change so that fewer people feel like escaping their reality is the only option. If this opened your eyes or gave you chills, hit subscribe for more deep dives into hidden science, forgotten history, and facts that shake the world. And let me know in the comments, what do you think is the real solution to the opioid crisis?